judge, my baby.
Welcome back to another episode of BeyHive Buzz. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Samantha, and we have a very, very special guest. We're so excited about having Cheyenne on the show.
Hello.
Yes,
Hi.
I was telling Alexis, I was just like, I always introduce Cheyenne as like my new cute friend. I'm like, cute friend Cheyenne. And we've recently met through work, and we are immediately connected on astrology because we're astrology girlies. I feel like everybody that comes in the studio, I immediately have to get their birth chart. So, yes,
that's hilarious.
I'm super excited to have Cheyenne on because we're gonna get into the new Beyonce tea, okay? Because we have a confirmed birth time. So those of you that do not know, Beyonce released her Cowboy Carter tour book, and inside was a scanned copy of her birth certificate with a birth time. So that meant that the astrology girlies were revving up their engine. She made it all of our days because of what? So basically, I feel like we should start off by like talking about the significance of knowing her birth time. I'll just say my little spiel, and then I'm gonna let you say yours, okay. Cheyenne. Or should I? I'm like, am I going too fast, or am I going to
go ahead? You go right.
No, I think you're going a great pace. I will say, I'm so happy to meet you, Cheyenne. Samantha's been talking about you so much, and it's funny because this whole time I was picturing a little white girl, and Samantha was like, "Cheyenne's not white," and I was like, "What?" And then your TikTok randomly popped up on my For You page for my just TikTok burner. I don't ever post, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I was like, "That's the perfect way to describe you. You're so cute and just bubbly, and I love your content." And so. We'll be posting your content on our notes and stuff, so people can follow you, and we'll say it at the end. But yes, I'm so happy to meet you. Basically.
I know. I'm so excited to connect my friends. But yeah, so
yes, we can get to it now. Talk to us about why it is significant. And just so y'all know, I am beginner levels. I'm just here asking questions and being nosy. Yes. I don't know anything. When y'all were just talking about are we doing the dates or the plastics or whatever, I didn't know what that meant.
The plastic. I know, because Alexis is curious about it though. I'll say I've read her chart and other people's chart that she's curious about. So Alexis likes to get into the juiciness of everything. So
astrology is a lot though. There's so many different facets to it.
There is so much.
It's a lot.
I am still scraping the surface because there is so much. So we're just coming from, what our knowledge is of it. And yeah. So, and then I don't know if I should say this too, Cheyenne, you've been studying astrology for a little bit, you have a teacher and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. You just how long have you been studying astrology?
Not as long as I feel like the masses. I've only been studying 1.5 years. I've been into astrology for a very long time, but seriously studying it, I would say about 1.5 years. I have my teacher, Lloyd Rivers. She's been doing it for about I think 30 plus years now. So long time.
Wow. I listened to her podcast and I loved it. I was like, oh yes, this is going to be in my astrology weeklies that I need to know. But yeah, so anyways, back to the reason why we are here.
Yes.
So we got a confirmed birth time. The reason that is significant is basically because we have a accurate chart of where the stars were, where the planets were when Beyonce was born, when she took her first breath, and that shows us a lot because we can now have her accurate rising sign, which is a huge part of your chart. We can see the houses that they're in, which I know is can be a foreign language, but we can see a accurate picture of her chart versus guessing, because you really do need to have that time. So, Cheyenne, what would you say though? Because I know you are always telling me how important it is.
Yeah, like
No,
why is it important
yeah.
to you, Cheyenne?
I would say it's probably one of the most important things when you're reading a chart, or else if you're really just looking at a chart without a correct birth time or without a birth time at all, you're basically just, it's like reading a general astrology description that you found online. Basically, it's very general. It's not. So the rising sign, the birth time gives you the rising sign, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the rising sign determines where all of the zodiac signs are placed in the chart. So the zodiac wheel, it's like one giant wheel, right? And it's divided into 12 quadrants. And in each different quadrant, there's a zodiac sign. So each of those quadrants kind of represent like a different part of your life, your personality, just what's going on with you in general as a person. So if you have the wrong birth time, it can completely throw it off. I think the original time they had for her was like, I think it was like 10. Yeah, it was like 11 or 10 p.m. Like completely wrong.
Right.
So
we thought Beyonce was a Libra rising and a Scorpio.
What's the actual time? What's the actual time?
I think it was
9:37
a.m. or p.m.
Oh, p.m.
It was 9. Yeah, 9:47, I believe.
p.m.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So this is, I'm so happy
Very
you explained that. So it's like,
you're
yeah.
such a good teacher. Jackie.
You are. That was like so late. I was like following you. I'm excited. Okay. So looking at the chart, kind of what stood out to you? Like, I guess we'll just start general and then I have a bunch of questions for you. But like, what kind of stood out to you, or what was something that went off in your spidey senses about this birth chart?
The biggest thing I would say that stood out, let me just go to her chart really quick.
Yeah, and we can share it as well.
I will share that.
Yeah.
We'll share it, yeah.
Right now.
You
need me to zoom in?
Hang on. I don't have my glasses. They broke.
Okay, I'm going to zoom in.
Sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
A little more.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
That's right. No, that's fine. That's good. So the biggest thing that I was looking at, well, when I first started looking at her chart, was the fact that, you know, everyone was saying that she was a Libra rising, but she's actually an Aries rising. So I was kind of trying to look and see why everyone was saying that, like why that was the general consensus. And it's obvious she has so many Libra placements. She has, I think it was her Venus, her Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto there. So that's
all
pretty
in Libra,
much like
you're saying?
all in
right
Libra.
Here,
yeah,
it's
where I'm
circling.
There.
Wow.
So it's all pretty much in Libra. And something I especially notice when people tend to have a large quantity of planets in one sign, it kind of takes up the entire energy of the chart. Also, I think I did in my notes, if my calculations are correct, I believe she's pretty much ruled by Venus. So basically her entire chart revolves around the planet Venus and its energy. So she naturally will come across as I believe as like a Libra rising to people.
Venusian
because
person,
she's like very Venusian energy. That's naturally what she comes across as.
And maybe tell us a little bit about Libra, because Alexis is a Libra, Cheyenne. I probably should have said that too.
Yes.
Like, I guess like Venusian, Libra, like what do you think when you think like
when I
Venus,
think of Libra? When I think of Libra, so the biggest thing I would say is Libras tend to be very social. Not always, they can be very pretty. They like nice things. They love things that look pretty. They love pretty things. They love pretty surroundings. They love things that are comfortable to them, right? The other thing that's big with Libra is fairness. They're all about fairness.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever seen what is it? You know, the
judge, like
the balance, the scale.
The balance. That's what I see when I think of Libra. Like they're all about fairness. Like if it's not fair, they have a problem with it.
Girl, yes.
And they're just like, this needs to be fair. Like if pay isn't fair, they're on it. They're like, why is this not right? Like,
oh my God, that is Alexis.
This is literally me. Yes, that's hilarious.
This is Alexis at work.
So they're very, very big on like fairness, equality. in that whole thing, yeah.
So are you saying, like, so with Beyonce having a lot of placements, or I think in Venus you called it, are you saying that, like, I'm sorry, in Libra, and she's pretty much ruled by Venus, are we like kind of thinking that, like, this is like, she might like nice things, she's very much into fairness, like, are we thinking that, or was that all incorrect because it was actually the Aries rising?
No, so it's not incorrect. All of it is correct. She does have all of
She has a lot of Libra energy in her
chart. She has a
chart.
lot of Libra energy as it is. So the Aries rising is kind of just like what she presents when you like. So your rising sign is what you are when you like first meet people. It's the first thing they see in you. It's the first thing they notice about you. So a lot of Aries risings are very charming people. They're very energetic people. They can be quiet, but they will be noticed. Something I observe about all of them. They're just they have like a natural kind of magnetism to them. And I don't know if you've ever seen a lot of Beyonce's earlier interviews, not the ones where she's like super tired, but she just had a very natural like bubbliness about her.
Yes, I get that.
So that's what I think of when I see Libra rising. But that doesn't mean that the Venus or the Libra energy isn't there. She has a lot of
I was gonna say quickly, like, I know like Venus is like Oshun in Yoruba.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's like, and that is a lot. Beyonce always talks about how like she's Oshun. That's why they had the visuals of the on Hold Up with like the yellow dress, and like she says that she's Oshun, which is like a African goddess. And then Solange is Yemaya, who's like the water sign, or like the water baby. So yeah, I feel like she's definitely aware of her connection with Venus, and I feel like that kind of lends to that as well.
Do you so, and I feel like that was all over Twitter too. It was like, oh my gosh, she's an Aries rising. Wow. Is there anything else that you see on her chart that was like interesting to you?
She has a lot of Libra placements, but she also has a lot of Virgo energy in her chart. I know you only see her sun. So right before, if you look where the 5 is, that's the 5th house. That's where her sun sign is. It's like the big circle and then the dot. That's the sun. So she has a lot of Virgo energy in her chart. I know she only has one planet here, but so when you're looking at the astrology wheel, if you take away all of the zodiac signs that you see on the outside, just imagine all of them are gone. The wheel itself naturally comes with zodiac signs already, right? So it already has a natural energy about it before you put like the planets and everything on it. So for example, the first house is ruled by Aries. Second house is naturally ruled by Taurus. Third house is Gemini. Fourth house is Cancer. Fifth house is Leo. And the 6th house is Virgo. So she has that main energy in the 6th house of Libra, but there's that heavy undercurrent of Virgo.
Right. It's living in a Virgo house. Yes. It's living in a Virgo house. And we look at all of the planets that are there. It's like you said, Mercury, that's like, how you communicate, think. Venus is, like just like money and love and self-worth. And so there's that's very interesting, because I didn't think about that.
With the undercurrent of Virgo, what does that bring to the table?
So I actually thought it was pretty interesting because Virgo and Libra are like they're very different signs. They're very different signs.
Yeah, you're right.
I was thinking about that earlier.
Like, how is that to be there?
Yeah. So especially with the 6th house kind of represents almost like your work ethic and how you are at work. It also represents health as well. But the main thing I think about is work, especially because she has all of these planets here. And when I think of kind of Libra in the 6th house, I do generally think of some type of, maybe when she was younger, she was a little bit more indecisive. But Virgo is Virgo knows what it wants. That's why I'm just like, it's an interesting energy to mix together.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
The way I kind of see it, I was thinking, maybe when she was younger, because Libra is very much about the fairness and kind of hearing everything out. They can kind of be a bit of yes people if they're not as developed. So the way I see it,
she talks about that.
Yeah, it's like maybe when she was younger, she was a little bit more on that end. But I mean, if you see her now and like her documentaries, like she knows what she wants.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
Libras are like known to be like people pleasers kind of sometimes, and so and I do think one thing that was interesting, this kind of, I like don't want to like go from the Libra stuff, but the midheaven I noticed is,
talk to us about what that is first.
Yes, I will. So, and Cheyenne, you can tell me this, you can talk about it too, but I know that the midheaven's always in the 10th house, and the 10th house represents like your career, like, I'll still just say career for right now, but like, it's also kind of like, I guess like what you follow like for your career, and it's in Capricorn. And I know both of her parents' sun is in Capricorn. She has a lot like her parents are Capricorns, Blue is a Capricorn. And so it's just interesting to me like that her parents had such a hand in
her career early on.
And then like having like the people pleasing too. It's just like I can see how it's like her, and also like with the 6th house being like routine and stuff, and like like she had a full schedule. I feel like, like she might have been overdoing it, I would say. Like that's very interesting. Like yeah
I mean the MC is the 10th, so it is, her MC is in her 10th house, so right where the start of the MC is where the 10th house
is it always in the 10th, or can it be in another house, the midheaven?
I believe it's always in the 10th. It usually starts the 10th house, if I'm not
gotcha.
I believe so.
But
yeah, and you can even see like with it's in Capricorn, so the MC in the 10th house is in Capricorn. She likes to work, okay? People see her as a boss, and I will say, even just having that Virgo sun as well, like I'm not surprised if people do kind of see her as bossy.
Okay.
Or just like, a little bit of like, but I think she's just very particular.
So that's funny because that was like one of the first like thoughts and questions we had, was kind of like thinking about this chart, like how does this make sense in relation to her career and like her status and her work ethic? And as I feel like she talks about herself. Like I literally was looking at a TikTok the other day where it was like, she was like, I think she was doing Life is But a Dream, like that, like documentary. She was like, when I work, I don't eat, I don't use the bathroom.
Right.
Like, I'm just like, goodness.
You're like a machine.
Like, right. She's literally said that. She's like, I'm like a machine. And like, I feel like everyone talks about her work ethic. Like, is this make sense when you're looking at this birth chart?
Yes, but I will say, like, I can definitely see where she's a workhorse, but I think she's a workhorse that doesn't have, like, I think she's a workhorse for certain periods of time. Like, I don't think she has this, I don't think she would have the stamina to be like this, like, for, like, at 100 for, like, years at a time. Like, I think she needs, especially with all of these planets in Libra in the 6th house, she needs time alone and to, like, recharge. Like, you remember how she would kind of come. I don't know as much about Beyonce. I'm gonna be so real.
Oh no, this is perfect because then it's like an objective opinion, and we can explain that.
But I remember like back in the day where she would like come do these huge performances and then disappear for a long time.
Yep.
That works for her.
I see that.
Yeah,
I see that because. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
Well, I was just gonna say it makes sense because I mean, literally, like. I feel like it was like Lemonade dropped, and then it was like years until Renaissance, and it's like, you're living your life, you need peace. And then it's like, I'm sure after Act 3, we're not going to hear from her for like 7 years, and so it's just like, I do
kind of expect it.
We expect it. She's very private. She's very like go into hiding. So I feel like it makes sense. It's like, if she's not working, she's chilling, or working on something, but in private, not going so hard.
But she needs that. She definitely needs it.
And even my last thing I wanted to mention about the sixth house with all the Libra, it's like when you talk about being like a machine, kind of, I feel like Virgos can be very like you said, particular about like food and all that stuff. And I feel like Libra cares a lot about your appearance and things like that. So like maybe that is a motivating, like, you know, like when it's time to lock in, like we all, like people be clocking her, like they're like, oh, that's her performance body's getting ready. Like,
But wait, when we say particular, do we mean like, I mean, it just has me flashbacks of like when she was doing the Homecoming documentary, which was the Beachella. And she was like, I went on like a strict diet. I was only eating like fruit, fish, and vegetables. Are we talking particular in the sense it's like, okay, yes, like I am particular like about like the way I eat. I want things ran like this for rehearsals. I want like, I want it like in a specific way that I think will be efficient. Is that what we mean by particular? Or are we meaning like, you said, yeah, you think so?
I think so. I think she needs the vibe to be right with the
like
Libra.
That works for her.
It's
yes.
like, okay, I want there to be flowers in the room. But like,
I love it.
But Cheyenne, you tell us what you think about that.
I think she's particular in a way where she demands a lot from herself and she demands a lot from the people around her. Like, I think she has high expectations for herself as well as everybody who's working with her and for her. I think she expects the same. So yeah, she's very, especially about her look. I think she's very particular about
and Libra too. Like I'll say, like I feel like Libra is, like you said, they'll like fairness. They're like, if I can do this,
everybody else can do it. And she says that she's always like, if I'm not, I don't sit down, so no one else thinks they can sit down. It's like if I'm not doing it, I set the standard. I'm not going to take a break if no one else can take a break, that makes a lot of sense. Does the birth chart at all talk to us at all about like just the status of her? Like I feel like like when thinking about career, like we're talking like work ethic and how she behaves as a businesswoman, does it all like tell us anything about status, about like how I feel like she lived say that again,
how like wealthy she is
like wealth and just like how she carries her career. I feel like she really wants to be seen as, like you always say, the Michael Jackson effect, Samantha, where it's like I'm seen as like elusive, I'm seen as like very private. It's just like you view me as Beyonce or you don't see me at all. It's very much
like we don't know her.
It's curated.
Or something.
Does birth chart speak to us about that at all, or no?
It can show if you're it can sometimes show if you're a more public facing person or private facing person. I do think, in general, she is a lot more private, even if you just look at her moon.
Who Am I to Judge podcast is getting their own Patreon, honey, and we're talking about our queen bee. We love her so much, so of course we had to have a separate spot for us to just talk all things Beyonce. We're talking music, we're talking documentaries, we're talking relationships, we're talking love addiction, everything, all things Beyonce. So if you want to hear some real BeyHive talk, click the link in the bio. Go check it out.
Good job, B.